What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys with another market watch today. I had to switch my camera angles because I really want to talk about Phantom Rage, specifically Alpha the Master of Beast, in which I think is definitely going to be the #1 highest valued card out of this set, guaranteed. I mean, don't get me wrong, Divine Zeus is roughly around $66, roughly around a little about $2 higher than Alpha the Master of Beast, but I do think Alpha the Master of Beast is going to be, well, the highest card in the set. It's currently going for roughly around $64, and that value can easily hit over $70. In fact, I'm betting on the fact that Alpha the Master of Beast is going to be over $70, to be honest with you. With the release of Phantom Rage, a lot of price points will be dropping down, and there'll be opportunity to go in and grab some of these cards, because some of these cards, specifically Alpha the Master of Beast, is going to be rising up in value. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, and comment down below. Comment question of the day. Are you looking to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh? Wait to the end of the video and I'll explain why I said that question and why I think that a lot of players, they should start saying yes soon. Looking at the rest of Phantom Rage, I mean, the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales better show performance or it's going to lose value. Same with Zeus. I think Alpha the Master Beast is going to, and that's almost no question in my mind. When we look at the Tri-Brigade stuff like Shurag, the Ominous Omen, Airborne Assault, these cards are currently $14. Can they go up in value? Of course they can. I mean, unlike a lot of other cards in this set, like Mutants, I do believe Tri-Brigades is going to be part of a meta-relevant deck, and that's going to be at least 1.5. There's a chance it could be tier 1. If it's tier 1, these two Tri-Brigade Secret Rares out of Phantom Rage is going to rise even higher in value. You got other cards like Warning Point, Archibald XRT Dragon, Virtua Kyuubi. Virtua Kyuubi, by the way, is $7. Ultimates is $6. Archibaldion's roughly around $8. Warning Point is about $12. Those cards are probably going to be going down the market. I don't think they're going to be going or spiking up anytime soon. The real cards you want to keep an eye on is both of the Tri-Brigade Secret Rares and definitely Zeus, because I do believe Zeus will be going down in the market. If you have Alpha the Master of Beast, that's the card you want to hold because it's going to go from $64 to roughly around $70. I do think that Phantom Rage has sporadic value. That's value that's not just front end with the Secret Rares. I do believe that's going to be in this set, but right now, looking at the Secret Rares, that's where we're going with it. Another little fun thing to note is these are pre-order prices, and we already have a bunch of cards that are just, well, just tanked in the market. And we don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, this has happened before, and those cards that have tanked in the market have spiked up in value. And in this market, we'll talk about a couple of those cards. One of those specifically is Triple Tactics Talents. When this card debuted, it was roughly around $60, $66, I believe was the price point. And now look at Triple Tactics Talents with an $88 market price, $87 market price. The value of the card is roughly around $95. Well, why is that? Well, because one, the bans definitely gave this card a boost by hitting Card by the Grave. But two, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players realize, wait a minute, this has 3 banned cards listed in 1 card. The only prerequisite is your opponent has to activate a monster effect on your turn. Well, guess what? A lot of decks do that. A ton of decks do that. So, of course, this card rose up in higher in value. Looking at that, can this happen with Phantom Rage? I really don't know. In fact, it's really hard to tell. The only card I know that's going to be worth something in this set, guaranteed in my opinion, is Alpha the Master of Beast. It's going to be worth a lot of money because the card is, well, really good and splashable. Dogmatic Ecclesia the Virtuous, Rise of the Duelist, $18 market price. The value is stabilizing at $18. It was $25, but it's still stabilizing at $18 for an ultra rare. When people look at this card and go, well, V, it went down $7, my response is easily, it's a 3-of that you need, and it's an ultra rare. This card's splashable in a bunch of deck cores, kind of reminding us like Invoked, and yeah, it's not even an expensive card of the Dogmatic cards. No, this is not even close to being expensive. That honor goes to Nadir Servant. Looking at Forbidden Drop, another card out of Rise of the Duelist with an $86 market price, the value is down to $83. I'm telling you right now, this is a card people are just punking out, and this is a card that you need to have your play set up. This card's insane. It might not be insane now, but come next month, December, we're going to get a ban list that favors this card, where it's going to be changing. And when I mean by favors, I don't want to really go into my whole stance, but if Maxi comes on the ban list, this card helps you win the Maxi challenge. No more like, let me look at my 20 card hand and kind of break your board. No, this one card says, activate this. Hey, you have a couple of cards, can you just pitch for this card? So, preferably a spell trap monster effect, so this card hits you at spell speed 4. great. Forbidden Droplet hits the board, it blanks out everything, and you basically win. And the crazy part is you might not even need 3 of these. You might only need 2 of these cards in your deck, especially with Max C. But we'd have to see what happens with the next ban list. Also, Zodiac Dogmatic could kind of run this card. It's slowly starting to be integrated back into the game. What I'm trying to say is the value of Forbidden Droplet is not going down anytime soon. This card is only going to be rising higher in the market. Looking at Invocation, I mean, Invoked is a card that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are starting to get if they don't have it already. This card, in my opinion, definitely needs a reprint, and to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if we would see Invocation be reprinted in Maximum Gold. I just really want to hit you with that point, because it's probably going to get reprinted in Maximum Gold. I don't see this card not getting a reprint anytime soon. I mean, this card deserves a reprint. The last reprinting was in Battle Legend Armageddon as a secret rare. The current value, by the way, of that card is $24. A little bit higher than the Fusion Enforcer original print secret rare, which is roughly around $23. No, seriously, this is getting a reprint. So if you're looking to play Invocation or Invoked, just wait. Wouldn't be surprised if this happens, well, or we get the announcement today, tomorrow, next week. I'd be shocked if we didn't. Animador Arkhasaurus Rex is a card that, well, even though I hate dinosaurs, it's a card that is roughly around $48. Hey, let me explain something to you. I like the deck of dinosaurs. I just hate when someone activates Miscellaneousaurus, looks at you, activates any card, and goes responds. I can't respond. You have one card that says I can't respond. I'm acknowledging that the minute you resolved it. Why are you acting for a response? Dino players, comment down below if there's any. What are you looking for when you say that? Because like me and the rest of the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player base, it's just our minds are blown away when you go activate Miscellaneousaurus. Sure, it's good. Activate X and Y and Z effect, response, and we're sitting there going, we would love to, but we can't. Why are you saying these words? Animador Arkhasaurus is a card that more than likely is going to be needed for Yu-Gi-Oh players looking to play even remote duel events. And by the way, end of the video, I'll talk about that as well. The card only came out of Eternity Code, it's a secret rare, and the value of the card is roughly around $50 in the market. It's a card that's desperately going to be needed if you're looking to play dinosaurs. And even though I don't like the dinosaur deck as far as competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, well, because of Miscellaneousaurus, I'm not going to lie to myself and lie to you guys and say it's not a good deck. It's definitely, I've blown my expectations away. And I think when I first talked about this deck, I was talking about this deck as a tier 1.5 deck. No, this is a tier 1 deck. No doubt in my mind, this deck is tier 1. The only question is with that knowledge, if you're not looking to play dinosaurs, what are you going to do to stop this? There's a lot of great cards that you might need. One of those cards is going to be Artifact Lancia. It's a very important card. But going back to Animador Arkhasaurus, if you are looking to play dinosaurs, which once again, I don't blame you, it's a phenomenal deck, you're going to need this card. Well, at least 2 of them. Then we have Axis Code Talker. Axis Code Talker at Eternity Code with a $70 market price is roughly around $72. Even though this card, when it first came out, was a lot lower, I believe it was around a $60 range, it went up higher in value as it got harder and harder and harder. This card's also a one-of, it's very splashable, but the caveat is, not every deck is using Axis Code Talker. But despite that, Yu-Gi-Oh players aren't getting rid of Axis Code Talker, they're holding on to this card. Why is that? Well, 1, it's a good card. 2, when your deck can use it, it works really well. And 3, this card kind of reminds me of Master of Beasts. Let me explain. Master of Beasts is a card that's really good, really splashable. Axis Code Talker is a card that's really good, really splashable. Master of Beasts is a 3-of, but limits you to a certain archetype. Beast Warriors, I believe, or Beast. I always forget the specific wording. Axis Code Talker doesn't limit you whatsoever, but not all decks run it. I feel like this is what I'm looking over here with the $72 market price for Axis Code Talker. I feel like I'm talking to you in the future about Zoo King and the fact that that card's going to be roughly around $72. Like I said, I think the card price is going to dip down Zoo King. Don't go in and buy it yet. Wait until release day. In fact, you might even give it a couple of days after release day when everyone's dumping the car into the market. Then you go in and grab yours because it's not going to stay low forever. It will go back up in value. That's a guaranteed. Looking at Axis Code Talker, that's almost to me a prerequisite of what Zoo King is going to be in the market. Then we have Elixir. Listen, if you're looking to play Elixir in the new gold set, I don't blame you. Elixir of the Black Awakening is slowly stabilizing back into the market. But the stabilized price point right now shows it to be $13. Curse LN is still at $6. I think these cards are now stable. I think there's a stable price points for these cards, which is to me is mind-blowing, despite the fact that these cards should not be nowhere near as high as what they currently are. But It makes sense if you think about it. Once again, when you get a deck that's a money deck that still has meta relevance, and you change the printing on one card, what happens? Well, ask anyone that played Medoches. They'll tell you a great story. Ask anyone that played Cyber Dragons. Oh man, do they got stories for you? The hero players? Man, you don't even want to talk to those guys. Those crazy guys will tell you, hey listen, you can make an ultimate rare a version of any hero card, and they'll just change the game up on you and make another card valuable card. Hero players don't care. So much so, I can predict that market. And I'm pretty decent at predicting markets. I can't even touch the hero market. Every time someone asks me a question about heroes, I go, okay. I don't, anyone saying they know how to predict the hero market, I think they're just, I don't know. Maybe they're right. I can't see it though, because the hero market is such a wild market. Anyway, we're running back to this right here. Elixir the Golden One getting a reprint, going down in value, and other cards that are Elixir type, like, you know, Chris Ellen and Elixir. Well, it's not shocking to almost anybody who's watching the market for a while that this happens. This always happens. Whenever you got a deck that's still got a reprint but still good in the game, it's gonna happen. In fact, I'll tell you right now, if Researcher was to get reprinted in maximum gold, and let's say we had what's the other card who's it's been a while since we talked about this deck, hasn't it, boys? Block Dragon is what I meant to say. If Block Dragon was at 3 and we would see an emancipated Researcher get a reprint, something would adjust itself in that deck. I'm telling you right now. And like I said, please, if you think I'm lying to you, go ask all these other players. Go ask these Medoche players. Go ask Cyber Dragon players. Hell, go ask the hero players if you're ready for it. They always adjust, because if those decks still have a chance to be a meta deck, the market does not let those go for cheap. Then we have Magician's Souls coming a legendary duelist magical hero. They're only printing, and hopefully you see a reprint of this card. $86 market price, which is currently stable at $86, so almost there, $87. I said it before, but I really want to emphasize this point. The second we get the maximum gold full reprint list, if Magician's Souls is not on there, and you still want to play Elixir, you better run to this card, because this value will spike up in value. Once again, everyone's focusing on other cards. And yeah, of course, I mean, Elixir, a Black Awakening, Curse Ellen, they spike up high in value. Everyone's trying to go and grab those cards. Some people might be going to try and sell those cards, but everyone's forgetting the fact that you still need Magician's Souls in that deck. Like, if you want to play a deck at its perfect peak performance, you're going to need to get Magician's Souls. Now, should you go in and get it now? Of course not. I mean, why would you want to go in and grab this card now? It's $86 when there's a possible chance that this gets a reprint in maximum gold. There's no reason to go and do it yet. The second week, the maximum gold spoiler, then, and this is not on it, then you go in and buy it. I don't care the price point, it's $90 or $95, it's going to go higher. Why? Well, you need it. That's it. Then we have Lightning Storm, added Initial Assault. I'm getting some weird vibes from Lightning Storm. Can I explain to you guys real quickly? Lightning Storm with a $91 market price. Unlimited versions are $86. You want a first edition version? Well, it's roughly around $91. This card was roughly around $115. We're slowly starting to go back into the competitive meta of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Lightning Storm is definitely a card you desperately need to have. Now, here's the question. It tanked a lot. So, a couple of things are happening that can be factoring into the valuation of Lightning Storm's price point. Let's go over them real quickly. Number one, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are just not looking to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! They might not be in the remote duels. They don't know if Konami's doing anything in the future. Once again, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll have some information for you. We don't know what's happening, so we're not going to go and buy Lightning Storms. In fact, those who own it will sell it, and that's why you see the market go down in value. Because I don't think anyone's cracking initial assault packs for value anymore. Call me crazy. That's number one. Number two, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something, and they're not sharing. Secrets are no fun until you tell the paisanos. Listen, Lightning Storm and Ignition Assault could be getting a reprint. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, do I think this card should have a reprint? Yeah, it should have been had a reprint a long time ago. Do I think this card should get a reprint, or the announcement of this card being a reprint should be announced today? Yeah, seriously. Why isn't this not announced? Now, I don't know if it's going to get a reprint. I have zero idea, by the way, paisanos. But when a card drops, you know, roughly around $30, randomly, you gotta ask those questions. Why? And like I said, it's only one or two options. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Players holding Lightning Storms are like, yeah, I'm just gonna sell this card. It's not that good. It's a really good card. I think we can all agree that if everyone had access to 3 Lightning Storms today, they would play it. Even those crazy hero players aren't that crazy. They will play this. They care not for this card not being in their deck. They want this card badly. Listen, I think Lightning, and probably have it already because they spend a lot of money in hero decks. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, Lightning Storm, don't be surprised it gets a reprint. And let's just look at the value. Look at it go down and more and more and more and more in the market. What's happening here? No, seriously, what's happening here? Now, could it be a chance of this card rising in the market? Of course there is, and I think that's a very likely chance if there's no expected, I can't say that word right, announcement of a reprint of this card, as well as the competitive meta ramping up, and that could happen with Lightning Storm, absolutely. Prankit's Place originally had like 2 huge walls. One was roughly around the 40s, the subsequent wall after that was roughly around 27, and those walls are almost diminished. Prankits just need to be decent in the meta. I mean, 1.5 level decent in order for this card to go higher than what it currently is right now in the market. Prankit's Place with a $22 market price is actually down to a bit. It's roughly around $20. But remember, we talked about this card I think a week or two ago, and there were 2 huge walls. I mean, besides the 6th wall, if you want to count that, there's not many left. Looking at page 1 TC Play, you can see there's almost no walls. Going over here to page 2, well, technically 8's a wall if you want to count that. And then you go over here to page 3, and it's gone. By the way, it bombs out at $50, a little over $50 for Prankit's Place. Well, what happened to those walls? Well, simple. The Prankit's deck core is relatively inexpensive. Prankit's Meow Meow is a super rare, so it should be relatively cheap to buy. And Prankit's Place is the only card in Prankit's that is a money card. If you want to count a $20 card a money card, sure, we'll call it a money card. I mean, Elixir players might disagree with you. And for Noble players will definitely disagree with you, depending on the card you want to look at, and rarity. Dragon Link players, well, they kind of will agree with you actually if you want to get budget Dragon Links. But looking at Prankit's Place, well, this is money. This is going to go up in value. I think Prankit is definitely going to be a contender in the current competitive landscape of the meta of Yu-Gi-Oh! With that said, this card is going to blow up in value. Right now, it has not. But what it has done, and nobody can see it front end, is the fact that in the back end, it just broke 2 huge walls like that. Deck cards don't normally do that unless they're ready to blow up. And Prankit's is going to. $20 for Prankit's Place in the future is going to be cheap friend discount prices. Mark my words. Then we have Pot of Extravagance, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, Portal Savage Dragon, Masquerade, all these cards in 2020 Megatins, which are just dirt cheap in value because these have been opened to High Heaven and Oblivion. And I think we're looking at these cards and looking at how many of these have been opened to High Heaven and Oblivion, we can both take a good guesstimate of what's gonna happen with Maximum Gold. I know people go, V, I like the Maximum Gold rarity, it looks really nice, it's shiny, and shiny cardboard's what I like. I'm with you. I like shiny cardboard too, but I also like cardboard that holds value, not cardboard that tanks in value. And looking at Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in a 2020 Tin of Lost Memories case, well, a lot of this value is tanked. Dragoons went down only $5, so that's great if you own 8 Dragoons. Why would you own it? You only need 1. The rest of these cards should not be this high, but they are because, well, nobody's going in and buying Portal Savage Dragon anymore. I mean Masquerade, Appaloosa. Like, there's no need to buy any of these cards. What's happening here? Well, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Players get ready for a reprint set, more and more Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are putting their hands in a pot of the reprint set. They're buying more sealed product as well as cases upon cases upon cases, and they're cracking open and throwing it online for profit. If you remember, go back to my previous Market Watch videos when we talked about the Mega 10 cases before they came out on pre-sale value. These pre-sale values were astronomically high. That's store owners and maybe vendors, backpack vendors, making a killing on the market because they can list the cards early. When the cards came out, they were still kind of selling decently, I guess, but not for long. And this is what's going to happen with Maximum Gold. I'm telling you the whole game plan, and yet still people will still buy cases of Maximum Gold with the hopes of making money. And I hope you do. I really do. Realistically, it's happening. Realistically, though, it's going to be rough. And once again, I just want to say Dragon Links is relatively easy to buy. It's a tier 1 deck. You got a bunch of cards over here. Once again, Starly Secret's $2. Warlick Cigar Dragon's $2. Striker Dragon's $1.50. These cards used to be like $16 for the ultra rare. There's a lot of cheap cards here you can buy for this. Oh, Portal Savage Dragon $7. Like, there's a lot of cheap cards you can buy for Dragon Links, and you can play a tier 1 competitive meta deck for roughly around $100. So if anyone's out there going, V, the meta is so expensive, spend me with your games, you can play a tier 1 deck right now for $100. If you want anything cheaper than that, I don't know what to tell you, man. Go play competitive Uno. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, $100 for a tier 1 meta deck? Anyone complaining about this meta being a money meta? I'm not even joking you, like, it tilts me because it's like, oh, the game of Yu-Gi-Oh is filled with so much money. Dragon Link Bustle Lock double negate boards with a bounce. Oh, this game is filled with so much money. This deck cost me $100. Talk to any Max Rarity Hero player, any Madoche player, any player in this game playing any other deck, and tell them about this. The game's expensive. Yeah, no, it's not really that expensive. If you want to Max Rarity it, then it's expensive. I'm with you on that. It is very expensive. But you pay for what people can get easily. It's very simple. So why are we playing this game? The game of Yu-Gi-Oh is the cheapest than it's ever been before, ever. I like a shake-up in the meta, and with Phantom Rage, we're going to see that shake-up in the meta. Perfect. So what's the problem here? I understand people might go, well, V, Bustle Locks are unfair. One of the cheapest decks in the game is $100. You can do a Bustle Lock for under $100 consistently. Like I said, Paisanos, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I think anyone who complains about this game being money, listen, you can buy money cards, sure, but you can also play a T1 meta deck at like under $100. Like, anyway, I could do a whole video about that. But it would just get me more angry as I do it because, like, it's just dumbasses. Anyway, I'll do another video about that. I apologize, Paisanos, if you think that $100 is a lot of money compared to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is a hobby. Nibiru, the power being, is roughly around $100. It used to be $120. Well, first week into the month, it's down $20. As time goes on, Nibiru, the power being will hit a roughly around $80. That's a fact. That's not a question anymore. It's a matter of when. Not really if it's going to happen, but when. The current market price of the card, like I said, is roughly around $100. Down from its $110 market price. I think by next month, this card would definitely be a solid $80. Just keep that in mind. Superharmonization being roughly around $70, down from a $72 price point. This card should be hitting a lot lower. I'm kind of shocked it's still stabilizing in value. In Toon Kingdom, well, it's going down in value, holding a $57 market price. The listings are roughly around $48. Of course it is. Listen, collectors won and got this early when it was a lot of money. Anyone pulling Toon Kingdom now, have fun trying to sell that. What I would recommend is you hold your Toon Kingdoms because they're really worthless in the landscape of the other two Ultimate Rares in the set, and wait till they're hard to get. Then when they become hard to get, collectors, because there are always new collectors coming in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, are going to want to buy this card. And since Toon Kingdom, let's be honest, it's still going to be a hard card to get, it's going to go up higher in value. As it goes up higher in value, that's when you sell. That's literally the lifespan of when do you hold, when do you buy, when do you sell Toon Kingdom. And by the way, when I say when do you buy, I'm talking to you collectors right now who are debating on buying Toon Kingdom. You better buy this now, because the second this card gets hard to find, you're paying primo dollar for a card that which you could have gotten right now in the game. And of course, we got a bunch of other super rares in this set. Then we have OTS on Pack 13. Abyss Dweller is lower than it's ever been in this game, and you're gonna need it. The card roughly holding a $60 market price is stabilizing at $63. If you're debating on buying Abyss Dweller or hoping it goes any cheaper, the answer is no, it's not. With OTS 14 finally being out in circulation, the value of the amount of packs that are OTS 13 that's being handed out is dwindling by the day. Abyss Dweller's availability into the open secondary market is dwindling by the day. Is Abyss Dweller a good card? Let's see. Your opponent can activate any card in the graveyard. Yep, that's a good card to me. Abyss Dweller is going to be used in a lot of future decks, and whether it's not used right now, doesn't matter. That ability is broken. And then unless Konami bans Abyss Dweller on the bans, and hey, the bans is a no-holds-bar. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to see Abyss Dweller, well, this specific Abyss Dweller, Ultimate Rare at OTS 1 Pack 13, rise in value. Once again, $63. That's a stable price point. The card only gets higher from here. Okay. The United We Stand promo currently is roughly around $5,000. They got one guy over here listing for $4,500. Okay, so $4,500. We'll say $4,500. I don't know why it's not updated. $4,500 for the United We Stand promo. $4,500. And you would think with a $4,500 card, well, someone probably had to win in YCS, right? Because let's be honest with you, $4,500, you probably had to smoke people in YCS and pull the ultra rare United We Stand. You're wrong. This card was absolutely insanely easy to get. Well, why did I would not heard of it, V? Simple. You have to follow YuGiOh TCG on Twitter or Facebook. Well, V, it's not fair. YuGiOh never told me to have a Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, no, I know. They suck at marketing, paisanos. You don't have to tell me anything other than the fact that you don't know about this already, because YuGiOh TCG, once again, I really want to emphasize this point, is trash at marketing. They don't know how to market nothing. On their YouTube channel, they play clips of the YuGiOh TV show back from 2003, you know, nostalgia, and really don't know how to promote product other than the same exact commercial over and over and over and over and over again for new sets with the same voice guy showing just random cards, and at the end of the video, they have a guy goes, it's 9 cards per pack. Like, what are you doing? Fix your marketing. Why is your marketing 2003 in the year 2020? There's people older than the day you came out with marketing in this. Oh, I'm sorry. There's people younger than your marketing videos. Like, get your act together, Konami. Going back to YuGiOh TCG on Twitter and Facebook, and well, I think Instagram as well, if I'm not mistaken. They had a tournament. Well, not really a tournament. An event, I guess you would say, of you taking pictures of your remote duel setup. And there were some pretty bad pictures, as well as amazing pictures, because I took one of my pictures of my remote duel setups. In that little sweepstake. Top 300 entrants would receive, well, a United We Stand promo card. That's $4,500. Out of the 300 entries, that people that possibly could have won that, 300 people, 233 people got a United We Stand promo card. Once again, let me emphasize this. 233 people. That means, Konami, 67 people, not bad at math, didn't even apply. You didn't have enough to fill up this event to hand out these prizes. I guarantee you there are 67 United Stand promo cards in Konami headquarters because nobody knows Konami has a Facebook page, Twitter page, and they don't know Konami social media or know why would they want to apply for Konami social media when, let's be honest with you, Konami doesn't really respond back to the community. The communication with Konami in the community is atrocious at best. Maybe they should have asked one of their YouTubers to mention this. Maybe. That would have done much, to be honest with you. Why is this so important? Well, besides the fact that this card's insanely expensive, and those who entered the event, like myself and many others, many others, have now owned a card that's in the several of thousands of dollars due to the fact that it's so exclusive and hard to get. Well, besides that fact, there's another thing happening. YuGiOh Day is coming up December 5th and 6th, and participating OCS stores will be hosting remote duels to celebrate. Now, you can win yourself a Crystal Needle 5 play match you see right here, paisanos, and it looks gorgeous. More importantly, though, in addition to the top 2 finishers at each TCG event will earn invitations to a special upcoming qualifying event at which they can duel for a spot in the next remote duel invitational. Now, in my opinion, I think the remote duel invitational, I believe it's 16 people that play in the remote duel invitational. I think Konami should have all those slots be filled up by winners of this event, which would be great, as opposed to Konami having an invitational in which they invite people. How about people earn their invites? You know, kind of like how nationals and regionals are. This is something Konami should do from the get-go. Don't get me wrong. I think showing YuGiOh players and talking about the Konami a remote duel event at Konami to the YuGiOh players is a great idea. I just thought it was in horrible execution. YuGiOh players are competitive by nature. We want to compete and win something. Hey, we want to compete and win so badly, we will travel and spend thousands of dollars in our decks. Well, $100 if you want to play Dragon Links, but $1,000 in our decks, $1,000 in travel and food, just to go ahead and play at an event in which we can win a card that we break even on. Then we go ahead and play side events over and over and over again to win a playmat. If we're lucky, a deck box, and maybe I'll read your invite. Don't call me crazy. That happens for some players, not a lot. Over 2,000 players go to these YCS events. What I'm trying to say is Konami should have did this kind of event from the get-go because YuGiOh players don't want to sit there at home watching other players play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's only fun at a watch this event because you're watching someone you know has earned that way. Earned the way to the top tables. When you're watching a remote invitational that has people that Konami chose, nobody realistically cares as much. Don't get me wrong, it might be a YouTuber you might like or a pro player you want to see what the deck they're playing. That's nifty. But you're not going to get the same numbers on that Twitch stream as you should have hit, well, by having this kind of event and making top 16 players enter. What I'm trying to say is, I think Konami needs to up their game as far as social media. I think Konami needs to promote more remote duel events. In fact, if you want my honest opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more remote duel events down the line. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more remote duel events in December, if not early January. And the reason I'm saying that is because, well, think about it. We're not going to be going to regionals or YCS anytime soon, Paisano. No. We're not going to that. So what's going to happen? Well, Konami still needs to get players excited. They still need to get players to go ahead and go and buy cards. So how are they going to do this? Well, the answer is simple. remote duels. And whether you like or don't like remote duels, or maybe you're a bit hesitant on remote duels, and I don't blame you to be hesitant. Konami has done a horrible job at promoting remote duels. This is a company that also brought you Master Rule 4 without actually explaining about links until months afterwards. Explain about the link mechanic. They just kind of dropped links off at us and said, here, this is your baby now, raise it yourself. Listen, I think remote duels is going to be huge. I think it's a huge opportunity for stores as an extra source of income. I think it's a huge opportunity for Konami as they can also make extra source of income. They kind of need it. And I think it's a huge opportunity for players that can now win things like amazing playmats like the YuGiOh Day Crystal Needlefier playmat. Alternatively, an opportunity to play at a remote duel invitational, which is something now more prestigious because the people that are going to be playing in it, well, or at least should be playing in it, are those who earn that privilege, not been handed that privilege. Once again, Paisanos, I think that we're going to see a lot of things happening in the remote duel sphere, and if you don't know how to do it yet, please hit me up on my Twitch channel whenever I do my Twitch live streams. Follow down below. And hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Unlike Konami, I will respond to you and I will walk you through the process of setting up a remote duel setup. It is very important because I think the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the near future, at least, very least near future, is going to be via remote duels. And I don't want you missing out. The growth in remote duels is happening at an exponential rate. Of course it is. But once again, it's happening at an exponential rate way after Konami has held the first remote duel invitational. And it's happening because players are figuring out themselves what to do as far as remote duels. Players are learning how to set up remote duels, and players more than likely are learning how to also enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! From the comfort of their home, which is not bad if you think about it. You pay $5, you can use your own bathroom, drink your own drinks, go outside and, well, get a breath of fresh air if you need it, and sit down in front of your computer and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote duels, I don't think is going to be the dead set future. I think locals are still, physical locals are still very important. But once again, for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that's home and whose locals is 2 hours away, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Player who wants to practice for an upcoming physical event, but wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 days a week, I think that's going to be very important. And that Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that's just kind of hanging around going, gee, I have nothing to do today. Locals is a Saturday, but what's going to happen today? I'm in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mood today. And instead of sitting there in front of Dueling Book, which is, let's be honest, not as optimal, they now have remote duels. They can compete in a physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Event from the comfort of their home and still earn OTS packs in any scenario. Once again, I'm going to repeat that. 7 days a week Yu-Gi-Oh! You got places like Grandmaster Games. You got places like Fargo, North Dakota. You got a bunch of amazing remote duel places. Amazing remote duel places, and you can earn OTS packs from the comfort of your own home. Anyway, Paisans, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. It's your boy V, and please, like I said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the like button. Oh yeah, comment question. Let me answer the comment question of the day real quickly, and ask another one, alternative one. I think remote duels is going to be a big deal in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even after this whole pandemic is over. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And not only do I think that's going to happen in that aspect, I would not be surprised if remote duel takes a life of its own self, meaning that we're going to see a whole huge a sphere of players that are playing online. And the minority of those players will go to physical events such as a regionals and a YCS. And the reason why is because, think about it, it's more economically sound for the locals. They can host an event online, so they don't have their store packed with people, which they can have more time to do other things as far as like product wise. Trust me, stores can find a ton of other reasons than to sit there and have players running up and down their aisles. A ton of other reasons. Number one. Number two, Konami would love to host remote duel events online, maybe a remote duel regional, maybe a remote duel YCS. And the reason for that is very simple. Once again, it costs a ton of money to do a remote a YCS. Almost nothing to do a remote duel YCS, or even a regionals. So there's a lot of ways Konami can benefit, the stores can benefit, and of course us the players with these gorgeous looking Crystal Needlefier playmat, which is beautiful by the way. I mean, look at it. It's absolutely stunning. As those other great price supports, we can do it from the comfort of our own home. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos, you Paisanos have a great day.